Okay, do you notice the difference between if you're in the city versus if you're in the country or if you're in nature somewhere? This first question. Are you sensitive enough to feel there's a difference? Difference energetically, vibrationally. Difference to how it makes you feel. Are you more grounded or are you more restless in each given place? What is feeding your, you can say, or in nourishing your soul more when you're in a city or in nature? Now, if you don't know the difference, that's cool. Then you don't know the difference. Then maybe next time you're in nature, if you're living in a city, pay attention if there's a difference, or at the beach or a national park or forest, wherever, mountains. So, see, this is one of the principles that I'm a strong advocate of somebody who's trying to, you can say, quiet their mind more, or dealing with any kind of health issues, chronic health issues or mental issues, particularly mental issues, anxiety and all that stuff, or who wants to increase wants their spiritual practice to be more efficient, that they should spend some time in nature. How much? As much as you can. If you can only go out once a week because you're working and you're in the city and that's your karma right now, that's what you have to do, that's cool. Then go once a week and just go somewhere and just stay there. You can stay there for hours, or you can come back to your house, or you can rent a cabin and stay there. Go to a lake, go to the beach, but don't go to a busy beach. Go somewhere private. Just be alone with nature, because you start to absorb the current and the prana from nature. Prana is life force. The trees are emanating a lot of prana. The more they're in nature and untouched by, you can say, civilization, the more prana and life force they have. The more conscious you are, the more you're going to absorb that. Same with the beach and the ocean. When you're at the beach, you have all 5 elements there. You have the earth, right? The sand. You have the water. You have the fire. The sun's out. You have the air, fresh air, and then you have ether. Ether's everywhere. It's space. So you have all 5 elements. When you absorb those elements, those subtle elements, meaning you be conscious. Be conscious. Be conscious of the energetic support you're getting. Be conscious of the of the elements. Feel what they feel like. When we're conscious of that, then that strengthens the elements in our constitution and balances them, and then you're going to feel more balanced. And the more balanced you feel, the less your mind's going to be active. And so then with your spiritual practice, it's going to be more efficient. Your meditation, your yoga, the way you stay centered when you're dealing with people at work or in public, family, you're going to be more centered. You're going to be coming from your centered place. So we use these tools to help. Semen retention, a good high vibrational diet that's easy to digest. We use the elements that I'm talking about in nature. We use the high vibration around good company. You see what I mean? These are the real medicines that help transform our character and balance our being. Pills don't do that. Operations don't do that. Techniques that you go and learn don't do that. They have their place, but we're talking about a true organic rebuilding from the ground up medicine that has no side effects. It's all upside. That's hard to find. This is it though. And it works more slow though. It's not like, you take a tranquilizer, you're going to feel it in a little bit, a few minutes or something. This medicine is more subtle, but it means it's more deep. But that means it's going to take longer to actually feel the effect. Something has to trust and be aware of that. Intuitively, you have to get a confirmation inside, like, oh yeah, no, this is good. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm not going to measure my results and see, like, oh, how much is this helping me? Because the mind can't understand. It's helping you, period. Intuitively, it's helping you. Don't look for constantly be judging yourself and looking for physical confirmation, or are my symptoms gone, or am I meditating longer, is my mind more quiet? It actually might make your mind more loud at first, because your mind's already loud. So when you're spending some quiet time in nature, it's going to bring that out. See, usually if we're busy and we're outside and messing with people and going to parties or clubs and getting dopamine hits and stimulation, you're not going to feel the noisiness in your in your mind or in your being, because you're like blocking it, you're covering it up, you're escaping from it by all these external things, escape mechanisms. Hanging out with people who talk nonsense and just vibing on that, that's an escape. Or food, heavy tranquilizing food, just makes you dull. You don't, but when you start to clean your life up and you go spend some quiet time in nature, then this loudness might get more loud. It's not nature that's making it more loud, it's nature's bringing it out of you. It's revealing to you what's already in you. So know that. It's not nature's fault. Sometimes people blame nature. No, man, it's not good for me out there. I get worse. I'm going crazy. My mind's so loud, you see? So you take it by, piecemeal. I'm not saying that. I was talking to doing a consult with a guy, and he wanted to go and for like a month and just get this cabin out in the woods and no internet, and he was going to fast even. I'm like, you might be going too fast, You might not be ready for that. But if you want to do it, okay. And he tried it, and then he ended up going back home like 2 days later. Felt like a failure. But I'm like, no, you just break things off, take it easy, and you got to break things off in a doable way. You can't just hit it extreme. So you see where you're at. You start doing these things, these principles that I'm sharing, and see where you're at. See how comfortable you are with it. If you want to push it more, go ahead. If you feel like it's too much, it's bringing things up too fast, then you back off a little. Like you have to, it's finesse. You have to intuitively just be guided. Don't let the mind run this show. Because the mind will set you up to fail, and then you stop doing it. You got to catch out the mechanisms of the mind, But use nature to support you. The grounding currents that are like at the beach, just lay on the beach with all your clothes off and absorb those grounding currents from the earth. It grounds you. We need grounding. When we're more grounded, we're more centered, and then our spiritual practice is easier because our mind's more grounded. People are super restless these days, So if you're super restless and your mind's not purified, then how are you going to expect a spiritual practice to be efficient? You can't. There's too much noise. So that's why I'm sharing these things, to help back the noise off. The noise has to come up first, though, before it can get dissolved. There's no shortcut, no loophole. The loophole is through. It's not around. We can't go escaping ourselves forever. So those who are ready, then we start doing this work. So this channel is about preparation to purify the mind. And then a spiritual practice you can find on my Spiritual Renaissance channel. It's a little deeper and a little more advanced. So go check that out if you haven't already. And also Beyond the Alchemy, Semen Retention. And enjoy.